Hello fight fans, and welcome back to another UFC Fight Night recap show. This week was a tough one. We walked away with just a 45% prediction ratio. Not our best night, but that's the beauty and brutality of MMA. Let's break down the card and see exactly where things unraveled and where we made the right calls. Main event: Khalil Rountree Jr. versus Jamahal Hill. We sided with Khalil Rountree and he delivered with a decision win. It wasn't the most dominant performance, but Rountree used a disciplined striking game, mixing in powerful kicks and sharp counters to keep the pace in his favor. His patience paid off in a tactical fight where every strike mattered. A good read on our part. Co-main: Ignacio Bahamondes versus Rafael Fiziev. We picked Bahamondes, but Fiziev came in with his classic pressure-heavy Muay Thai style and pushed the pace from the opening bell. Bahamondes had his moments at range, but Fiziev's ability to close distance, land heavy leg kicks, and push him against the cage made the difference. As we predicted, if Fiziev could get his pressure game going, the fight would swing his way, and that's exactly what happened. So, Curtis Blaydes took on Rizvan Kuniev, and honestly, we backed Blaydes going in. He did get the split decision win, but man, it was far from easy. Kuniev really surprised a lot of folks by stuffing several of Blaydes' takedown attempts and landing some clean shots of his own. In the end, Blaydes had to lean pretty heavily on his wrestling pedigree late in the fight just to edge out two of the three judges. It was a gritty win, showing his ability to adapt when Plan A doesn't exactly go as planned. Next up, we had Tofik Musayev against Miktybek Orolbay. We rolled with Orolbay, and he showed everyone why he's such a rising force in the division. He locked up a clean Kimura for the submission victory, but not before weathering some early aggression from Musayev. Orolbay's transitions were super smooth, and once he got the arm, that was it. It was over. Just a dominant performance that really reinforced our pre-fight pick. Then we had Nazim Sadikov versus Nicholas Mata. We went with Sadikov, and honestly, he didn't disappoint. He won by TKO. His pressure was just relentless, always walking Mata down and firing with serious power. After softening him up with some bodywork and low kicks, Sadikov really turned up the volume in the second round and forced the ref to step in. A strong, confident finish from start to end. So, in the matchup between Muhammad Naimov versus Bogdan Grad, our pick was Grad, but unfortunately, he struggled to implement his strategy. Naimov's movement, jab, and takedown defense really frustrated Grad, who just never quite got into a rhythm. The fight kinda turned into a chess match on the feet, and Naimov edged it with cleaner shots and solid octagon control. Yeah, a tough miss for us. Next up, Seokyeon Ko versus Oban Elliott. We sided with Elliott, but honestly, Ko was the more composed fighter throughout. Elliott looked a step behind as Ko countered effectively and mixed in level changes to keep him guessing. Ko won the decision with volume striking and tactical awareness, while Elliott just couldn't find a consistent answer. Moving on to Ismail Nardiev against Junyong Park. We backed Nardiev, but Park surprised with a very measured performance. He cut angles well, kept his back off the fence, and landed at a higher rate across all three rounds. We had mentioned there was a path for Park to win if he stayed composed and stuck to fundamentals. And that's exactly what happened. A calculated decision win for Park. Daria Zheleznyakova versus Melissa Mullins. We picked Mullins, and honestly, we still believe she did enough to win. It was a very tight fight with a lot of back-and-forth exchanges. Mullins landed the more impactful shots and controlled some key grappling sequences, but, all three judges gave the decision to Zheleznyakova. That was a controversial call that just didn't go our way. Irina Alekseeva versus Claudia Sigula. We picked Alekseeva, but man, this was a dominant showing from Sigula. From bell to bell, she dictated the striking exchanges. landing clean combos, sharp leg kicks, and using slick footwork to stay out of danger. Alexeva looked one-dimensional and was clearly outclassed in every department. That was a rough pick on our part. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Azat Maksum. We sided with Ulanbekov and he put on a strong showing, earning a decision victory. He used his wrestling beautifully to control the tempo, nullifying Maksum's speed and movement. Ulanbekov's top control and clinch work were the difference makers, a clean professional performance. Hamdi Abdelwahab versus Mohamed Usman. In the final bout, we went with Hamdi, but Usman played it smart. It wasn't a crowd pleaser, but he used his jab, clinch control, and defensive wrestling to grind out a decision win. Hamdi struggled to close distance or land anything significant. Usman stuck to a safe game plan and it paid off. And that wraps up this week's fight card. We went 5 out of 12 on official results. Not our night, but that's the nature of MMA. You can break down the tape and make sharp picks, but at the end of the day, the cage tells its own story. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more weekly content. We'll be back next week for what promises to be an explosive UFC event, and we're looking to bounce back strong. Stay sharp, fight fans.